So as always, at the end of this video, there's a chance to win merchandise from BoostedShades.com. This week we're doing a pair of gold carbon fiber with red polarized lenses, so make sure you stick around to figure out how to win.
What's up guys? Before we even start today, probably right off the intro, most of you hate what we're doing.
Because we're using Bondo.
We're using an arguably crappy version of Bondo too. And we're using quite a bit of it.
Quite a bit.
Let's show you what we got so far. Okay, so this fender's not too bad, right? This is like an acceptable patch. It's looking nice and straight. It's getting a little bit heavier over here. Quite a few Bondo spots. Oh, it gets much worse though. This is not even close to the worst of it.
Oh, look at that. Whole sheet of it.
Now, we're supposed to be abiding by the shouldn't be thicker than 1/8 of an inch. Maybe more. Who knows? We've never had an issue with these products, so.
No, we've done it quite a few times, but we try and keep it as thin as possible.
Okay, ready for the worst of all?
Oh, look at that.
Now these roofs are notoriously warpable. A lot of them look like somebody been tap dancing on them, and it takes many, many hours to get this straight, and it takes a whole lot of body filler.
Ours was exceptionally wavy. We've got it pretty good now. We're on the last little bit, but
believe it or not, this is pretty thin. We don't think we're gonna have any cracking problems. We've let everything cure. We're using guide coats, and just the sheer amount of different patches, you know, the different hardener makes it look different. So we got our highs and our lows. It's looking kind of like a topographical map right now, but that's not a bad thing. We don't know what this was painted in. In most of these spots, you could literally chip it away with your fingernail. Just like a few dents right here.
And it goes straight to metal.
So we've sanded the entire car back down the middle. Because that paint is no good at all. There's some things that you can't fill with body filler. Like this. This is caved in. We ordered a whole new rear valance, so we're just gonna cut this one off and put on the new one, and that goes with, we have another spot. You get your fresh hole right here from past rust. Luckily, that's just gonna go right on there. We're not gonna weld it on. We have a body panel adhesive, which is good shit. I've used it in the past. We're gonna show you guys how we do that, and this is gonna be a relatively short video because it's just a lot of sanding. We'll glue that patch on for you guys, and
yeah, we've been sanding for the past week and a half straight every single day. So if you want to know why we haven't posted a video in the past week, it's because it's been 30 hours of this exact motion.
you know, hand blocking a car is
not the funnest.
No,
it takes a lot of time and patience.
We're not professionals either. We think it's gonna come out pretty good. We won't know until we paint it. We're also gonna give you guys an update on all the engine parts we have in, because that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, let's get to another day of sanding.
Okay, so we got a few things to make sure that we do this right. Sometimes the Bondo, when you first put it on, even after it's dried for quite a while, is sticky. So we blast the top layer off with the orbital because the layers underneath are much harder. We'll go down to something pretty aggressive like this to cut off a lot if we need to cut off a lot, and then to get everything really straight, you get these long kind of like foam soft blocks, and these you go into like an X pattern, and it takes down all the highs and the lows. Takes down the highs, levels it with the lows. You know what I mean? Can't hear you.
That looks like too much work. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Wow.
Huh?
Electric sander.
It's not as good as hand sanding it.
Oh.
Yeah,
It won't get it perfect.
You can't get it as flat, yeah.
That's gonna be fun. That's a what it's a V what?
It's a Datsun. It's a
240Z.
240Z.
Yep.
I remember those back in the day.
oh yeah.
The screen flies everywhere.
These things are so gross. Oh, look at this guy. Nah, he's not coming back.
Fuck you, crane fly.
Man, we've killed like 1,000 of these things.
They just keep coming out of the woodwork, man.
You look like Bane.
You think the darkness is your ally. You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it.
Okay, so we got this piece that's gonna fill in this hole right here. But because this was cut out because there was rust here, so to prevent anything like that from happening in the future, we're gonna hit it with oh yeah, tops off, that would be bad. PR15, it's basically a paint that doesn't get soft with moisture, so moisture never gets back onto the rust. We're gonna treat the entire inside of the area before we block it off with this, just to make sure that none of the rust ever comes back. Unfortunately, guys, that's about as exciting as the Bodywork's been. We want to get it done so we can move on to building the engine. And that's the other thing that we wanted to include today was all the parts that we have so far and what our plan is for the motor. We'll go in a row here. This is the R200 with limited slip. Obviously the R180 that's in the car isn't strong enough to hold the amount of power that we plan to make. So this is a necessary upgrade. This is going to be installed when we do the suspension, and that hasn't come yet, but that's on the way.
This guy right here is
This is Mega Squirt.
essentially Mega Squirt.
It's a Ford specific version called Pimp X. There's really nothing to look at here.
Ford ECU.
It's designed to look like the factory component, and it mounts up to the factory bracket, but inside it's just Mega Squirt. That came with a tune that has all the specs that we're going to build the motor with, so this should be good enough to get it running so we can bring it to the shop and have it tuned for the amount of power that we want to make. Okay, this has been the most expensive and most exciting part of the entire engine so far. This is a Beauport Stage 3 iron head. It's got a Beauport Stage 3 cam in it. It's aggressively ported, the intake and exhaust portions. It's got like the best valve springs you could possibly have. This is going to be able to handle 2-step, high boost. It's been treated so it's not going to have the cracking problem that the old one had. This thing's indestructible and awesome, and we can't wait to put it on the car. It's going to have an aggressive lope at idle, which I think sounds cool. Devin thinks sounds cool. So, very excited about this. We have our whole set HE351 CW, I think. 66 millimeter. 67, maybe. I don't know. It's bigger than the stock one.
By a lot.
Here's our China head. China headers. Nothing wrong with these. The welds look good. I don't know what CC these are, and I don't remember the pounds. I don't know. These are way bigger than stock. These support up to 600 horsepower. That's kind of how we're building the engine, to be able to pull 600 if we needed to. Obviously our transmission is not going to be able to handle that, and there's a lot on the car that we want to improve first, but this whole motor is going to be 600 wheel capable.
Below that are seat belts for safety.
We got seat belts. We're definitely going to want to put a roll cage in before we tune for 600. APR rod bolts. We do have forged infernals. Those aren't here yet, but when you upgrade those, you should get these. Our old crankshaft was trashed, so here's a polished, and it's basically brand new. These are very strong, so this didn't need an upgrade. This is just a fuel rail for the new injectors to clean up the engine bay and stuff. And here's our block, which has been finished, and it's 0.02 over, I think. It is to the specifications of the CP pistons that we have, so we have everything we need to make lots and lots of horsepower. We just really need to get this bodywork done.
Pretty much got an entire car in our dining room.
So we're just focusing on getting this done and painted so we could build this engine and have a running car again. Because now we got 2 disassembled and non-running cars. And it's getting a little frustrating. That's the other thing, is our pistons for that might show up someday. I'm done making you guys promises because honestly, I don't know. I promise, we've ordered them.
They're ordered, they'll get here when they get here. When that is, who knows?
For now, that engine's right there, protected from the dust. Alright guys, thanks for watching. This has been our life for the past 2 weeks, just sanding and sanding and sanding.
With a little bit of sanding.
And then, you know, some body filler and then more sanding. We're just about ready to paint, so that's exciting. And then once all this paint stuff's out of the way, we get to build that motor.
Which is super exciting.
If you watch our videos every week, you know that we pick a winner at the end of the video to win products from our store, boostedshades.com. Devin's gonna go ahead and pick the winner of this week's video.
I've been scrolling through this whole time, and it looks like Dale Pattison.
Okay, so Dale Pattison, you can contact us through email, Instagram, any social media account. Just get in touch with us and we'll ship you a prize.
Congratulations. So to win this week's giveaway, all you gotta do to win is like the video, subscribe to our channel,
and comment in the comment section, obviously, your dream car, the car you've always wanted, the car you would choose over any other car in the world. So leave that in the comments and you'll qualify to win this week's giveaway.
As always guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.